The future isn't coming. It's already here.
And it's asking us to lead differently. Tonight, our technology predictions for the new era coming up now in LOL.
I don't just talk stuff and repeat stuff. I'm living this stuff.
And you can thank me for covering your astro.
Hi, welcome to Leading Out Loud, the spiritual shift show that's edgy and energetic. I'm psychic astrologer Christopher Witecki, the sensei to serious joy. Oh, don't hear Scott, do you? Oh, I don't know.
And I'm Scott Cruz, psychic medium and mentor with scottcruzpm.com. Was muted there.
Absolutely.
Scott Cruz.
And we're talking about technology. Yeah. We're talking about technology tonight too. This is the funny thing. The irony there of our guides and how things happen. So Scott, I'll start the week. How are you doing this week, man?
It's been a great week for me. I've been very productive, very creative, so everything's been fantastical for me. But still the whole putting things in its place and making space. I'd say February is kind of the energy of just kind of like clearing out your space, welcoming things new, like getting things situated, and so forth. I think that's what this kind of February is bringing to us. So I've been kind of doing a lot of that, and give myself the leisure time, to unwind as well. So, but a lot more ambition, but I'm also spending the time to think things that matter. So many people spend time on things that don't matter. So I think it's more about the month of taking the time for things that really matter, So that's what February is for me, I feel like. Or February coming up, I would say. I'm ahead of the game here. We're not February yet, but I feel like we're embarking on that energy for February.
You know what? As soon as it turns to Aquarius, it feels like February to me too. I skip right out of January. I'm get me out of there. I'm done. I feel much improved. I'm a Taurus, so I pretty much move very slowly, but thoroughly. And so and somewhat messy, and but by the end, once the sweeper's gone by, the street is clean, and finally, the street's clean. Things are starting to come together. I'm learning how to be patient and just like let things fall into line instead of react, which I used to do. So I guess I'm emotionally maturing in that regard. I was humbled though by being, smacking my face on the pavement, like on things like that. So that helped. But I finally feel the groove of the new era, like that, that new moon at 28 degrees Capricorn was intense. These new moons have been fucking intense. And I think it's because they're calling upon a new world, and 28 degrees is the highest you can draw. 29 is actually a test, and that you don't create something on a 29. 28 is where the highest you can go in a step system and build the biggest thing you can build. And we've had 5 of those new moons in a row, 28, 20, 20, 20. And so each time they happen, it's almost like it's just demanding so much new that all the old stuff just like feels like it's just being squeezed out like toothpaste, and that's uncomfortable. But I actually this week felt like, I don't know, did you have an energy shift this week? Like I had a moment where I'm coming in and out of some new perspective. Like it doesn't feel like home, but it looks the same. There's been a few moments where I've been like in dimensions, what I'm saying.
So I feel like there's an energy shift. I always feel that. It's like it's always something cycling. No, I feel more brazen, if that's a good word to use.
I use that word.
Yeah, but it's just like at the same time, it's coming to a point. I just even think collectively, people are, needing to speak up. We talked about this last week, as far as like in the collective read too, about like speaking up. I did in my live show as well. Like it was a collective read that came up about people speaking up and where we see the state of the world right now, speaking up. And especially, like I said before, if I see someone saying something that's negative, I'm going to call it out. Like it's just in that momentum of, I feel like there's a domino effect, right? Some people say, don't let it bother you. It's like, I think if you are the one that stops the behavior, it's like a domino effect and other people. And I just feel like we need to be doing more of that,
Yes, Leading Out Loud. Funny, we created a show for this moment, actually. That's what we created a show. It's just for this moment. And we were way ahead of our time, but we need the practice. And we just settle into everything because it's a new thing. And because we don't have a lot of money, we just keep doing it every week and get better. But now that we're actually here, I'm so grateful that we did it, and I'm so grateful that we're balanced. We're getting our new speakeasy. It's like, and we're ready for the crowds. Like, let them in, guys. We feel ready. So I'm really proud actually this week of all I've achieved, and that was one of my cries too. Is I had never really been grateful to myself for what I've done, and to myself. Always paying the bills, but never thanking myself for it. So that was a thing for this week too. Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
We're in a huge transition, you guys. I don't think we've ever, honestly, I don't even know how to open these conversations right now because they're so profound. But it's like we had no idea what is about to happen. We have no idea. And I don't mean that in a scare tactic. I mean, like, we simply don't have done this before as a species. What we're about to do, we've never done it. We've never gone out of the dark into the light. Maybe over eons, but not in 18 months. And so it's going to be a rapid fire explosion open, I think, of truth and all sorts of stuff. And everyone has, their coping mechanisms or not. But I don't think that, and I don't feel that we're going to turn on each other by any means. No, this is amazing.
No, I mean, that's just, that's always going to exist. There's always going to be people with some sort of malicious intention, and and those people who are just sitting back behind the keyboard, like grueling at their negative comments of people. Like, you're not doing anything to help with evolution. So especially people who are just talking crap about people, gossiping. Like, you're not doing anything productive. You're just sitting there worrying about what other people are doing. It's like that's going to be the downfall of humanity, or a downfall of people. Like I said in my last show, like the rapture in the Bible, like that to me is a symbol of like raising to 5D. Like we're all elevating to 5D. We're all elevating to see things more broadly, right? And those who don't will be left behind, so to speak. And so I would say people fear technology, and I feel technology is that the ability for us to embrace 5D, right? And because what do you think aliens use to teleport and go back and forth? They have massive technology, and because they use technology so they can be more in their creative consciousness. And so I feel like technology is going to help us get there. And those who are not in that trajectory, they will be left behind because they'll be steamrolled by AI versus using it for their creative benefits, right? So that's what this time means for me. And in 2026 is that starting of that cycle. For me, we kind of completed cycle 2025, and in 2026 is a new direction. Of course, we'll see phasing of the chaos from previous years, but I feel like it's the beginning of a new era. The 2026 starting point.
Well, I think 2023. 2023 on your mark. Really, I think it was 2024. So 2024 was on your mark. 2025 was get set. 2026 is go.
Okay.
And that's pretty much kind of how it is. It's like, go where, but I feel the exact same, and we're opening up and we're awakening. And the thing is, I don't know, we don't have enough knowledge to have the right compassion for ourselves. So let me try to help the world have compassion for ourselves. We were actually a high society a long time ago. We blew ourselves up. We've been living in the fucking dark ages the entire time, trying to figure it out, not knowing what happened. We only have history like 2,000 years. We have amnesia. We don't even know what happened. What happened was, we blew it all, and we broke. Allegedly, it all broke down. We blew the damn thing up, and so we're afraid of doing that again. We're terrified of doing that again. We're terrified deep in our core that we're going to fuck it up again. It looks like right now it's happening, but that's the whole thing. The only way to get over the trauma is to go through it again, but not really, and that's what karma does. It's like we're going to relive it like a community play. But nothing's going to happen. I'm convinced in my heart nothing bad's going to happen. I'm convinced that it's all because people need to process the shit. And if you weren't sitting on your Heinekens, and drinking your marijuana, like you would have maybe caught it earlier, in some degree. Like there's some patterns here that we're looking at life soberly, we could see. But then again, we had no tools. No one taught us how to heal. Our medical industry isn't helping us heal. We're sicker than we've ever been. Things are worse than those industries are supposed to make them better. And so as humans, let's be compassionate to ourselves. This is hard. This is hard. This is officially the hardest thing this is one of the hardest lessons I think I've ever even sensed from a God consciousness that they get. This is a hard one. We must be really fucking amazing, or we wouldn't have signed up for it. We wouldn't have shown up for it. We all are amazing. I'm seeing people.
I think it's
like crazy.
It's directing us is directing us to look to be more self-sufficient and self-sustaining, because, if you can't rely on big pharma, you can't rely on, governments and leaders and all these, what are we going to do? So it's teaching us to be more reliant and self-reliant upon on ourselves and not need a savior in a sense.
Yeah.
And then look for people who can contribute better and find ways that we can contribute. The one thing I see about people complain about things is they don't do anything to change anything. They're not doing anything to revolutionize things. They're just sitting back complaining about people, and they're not being productive. And so I'm saying this even more so now because those are people going to be fell by the wayside. They're going to be trampled on in this evolution. So, I think we need to stop focusing on what people are doing and more so what we're doing, how we're integrating that in society. It's important. And I think, that this year is going to be the emphasis of that. Those who have been focusing on that and those who continue to focus on that will evolve and will elevate. Those who not will digress. So I think it's
what about Neil deGrasse? I was kidding. What
no,
about
not Neil deGrasse. Not Neil deGrasse degrees. I actually interviewed him a long time ago when I was working when I was doing my composing gigs for Discovery and History Channel. I interviewed him, so I was doing the sound for. I mic'd him up.
Cool.
Great for voice that. But I think it's time for people to recognize that point and where they position themselves in that.
Well, as I sit here, I feel your anger from it, your frustration from feeling their anger. And that's part of it. It's like when you are angry, other people feel their anger. No one wants to feel their anger. It lights up everyone's anger. And the issue here is it's anger. People are complaining because they don't know how to deal with their anger. And it's like, we have no tools to deal with anger. Like, what are we supposed to do? Why one fucking video game from Nintendo can teach us this? Like, why can't we just build something that just helps people practice? We are not at all thinking practically. And I don't think it's our fault, but I do think it's like, okay, all right, guys, if we can't trust everything we built, we're going to have to put our heads together and look at this again and look at it again from a perspective of what would be the healthiest, happiest, most sovereign, independent, joyful life you can live. Are we on the same page that we want that? I think that's something we haven't talked about. Why don't citizens come together and have their own conversations? We don't need the news media to do it. And we could have done it without YouTube also. Go ahead.
I think it's a zeal. I mean, I feel... a lot of people are called to go forth and to lead and to be the warriors or to, and now's the time I feel people are being called to do so. I mean, that is so much of a civil war. It's a kind of like a spiritual war in a sense of we need to stand up, rise up and stop being cookie cutter. Right. And so there's more of a zeal. Yeah. And I feel that's always been kind of, before I came onto social media, I had that boost of zeal saying, I'm not going to be saying the things that spiritual people are saying. I'm going to kind of go against a lot of that crap, right? And so there's always been that for me to go against what has been pacifying people, not helping people to really grow and evolve, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of zeal for this, and I think it's some people might interpret as anger, upset. Like no, it's like you sometimes got to stand up and like be brazen, and so but there's also an excitement to that, right? Because that means that there's a mission, right? There's a spiritual mission to this. If we're called to do something, there is an end goal. What is that end goal? And like you were saying before, it's a good one. It's not where it's Armageddon. Now people will be caught in that loop of chaos, and many people have been, I said, beautiful souls have been sacrificed themselves to make a point and to bring change. It's like those two that passed away in Minneapolis. I think their soul had demonstrated, I'm going to be sacrificed to bring awareness. So, and so that helps. And so, and so a lot of people ask, oh, the stuff that's going on. I'm like, well, there's wonderful souls that do sacrifice to make things to help that evolution, to bring awareness.
Yeah. The big awareness to me is that we are emotional teenagers, and we really, as a whole society, are teenagers. We're still teenagers. We haven't come out of being teenagers, really, honestly, as far as what we can handle, as far as when a girl likes us and all this other stuff. We don't have any of it together, and as far as the emotional coping of being humans. Now, again, we don't have any tools. So, I don't want to be any blame game, but I do want to let's get to the diagnosis of why this happened and let's turn it around game. Right. But I also think that maybe that's a great awakening. It's like, there comes a point, I'm sure, when every liver cell goes, hey, are you a liver cell too? You too, motherfucker? Are we a liver? Like, there's a realization, there's a wholeness, a oneness that comes from the organ. And to some degree, human beings are an organ of the universe, and they're going to about to become self-aware and be like, oh my God, we're all part of one big organ. And at that point, that's what our best comes to be, because we didn't want the same things. We don't want the same things. We're told to want the same things because of the nature of sales and marketing. We're like, you want this and you want this. And we're like, we all want this. And the truth is, we don't. But we don't know what we want because we haven't paid attention to who we are and what our heart wants. We're kids. But I do think that's over. I think we're grown up. I do think we're
Yeah.
moving on.
Well, and I think it's important to see like the human species as one organism. Like we're one unit, we're one organ. And if like whatever you're doing your end of the spectrum, are you creating a disease for the species or are you actually trying to heal the species? So that people don't recognize their input, that their little input is effective because that affects others, that confirms others' bad behavior and so forth and so forth. And I realize that I want to at least be, if I'm the bad guy, I don't really give a fuck at this point. If it's going to bring some sort of change and awareness for change in the future, that's where I'm at with it, you know? And so because some people like, and I've been that way since I was a kid, by the way, so it's nothing new,
Yeah.
but I
life.
understand the reasons why it needs to happen. So it's like I said before, a domino effect. I made the change. Someone else like, I'm going to stand up and do the same thing. And it creates a spiraling effect. We're all connected. And so I want to be the participation of our species expanding. I don't want to be part of it dying, you know?
Oh God. Yeah. It's impossible for it to die. I think that's part of our teenagehood bullshit. Like, come on, you're not going to die. You live forever. This soul lives forever. Like, come on, get over it. Like, why are we so afraid? We really aren't opening our eyes and taking a look at the actual evidence from our own perception of, being childlike ourselves. But I'll tell you this: you say not every cell in the liver will realize it's a liver. Yes, I think that's true in 3D, but I don't think you go to 5D until every one. God does not leave one cell behind in the last dimension and bring the rest with. It's like it is. And so, but that's not pressure because it'll all just naturally, I think the more we relax, actually, we'll do farther. If we just relax, we're going to actually do so much better, but didn't even have to lift a finger and do anything. If we just relax.
Well, I think we need to find the balance of relaxation, but also being punctual and prompt and, on point to what needs to be, done. So I think it's the balance of both. I mean, that's what's beautiful about duality. It's like I could be full force, heavy work, but I also can play hard and rest hard, right? And so work hard. So I think when we find the balance of that, the duality of things, then we're like, oh, that's balance, right?
Balance is hard these days because it's like everything comes in big waves. Everything's exaggerated on media to be bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like hurry while supplies last. Like that is the constant message. And so it's like stay balanced and be like a ballerina in that. It's like in that soup. It is challenging. But at the same time, we're about to see how incredible we are. How incredible we are as a species. Which is why every species is like coming here to take pictures of us and make babies.
We're also about to realize how that we are soul consciousness, and that's gonna be undeniable. And those of us who are intuitive, like my hairstylist, when I first went to her, I told her, I said, you're not going to be here long. You're going to branch off and have your own studio and have your own place and take your own clients. She's like, oh my God, that's so scary. Are you kidding me? Literally it's been I think 4 or 5 months. She's in her new studio. She's like, oh my God, because I always freak her out, right? About things I know. She's like, how do you know? Oh, yeah, that's right. And so she's like, you told me I'd be here. I said, of course, so I think we need to start sharing that more so with others. Not that we're being intrusive with reads, but if you feel something positive about something, share it with them. Some people hold it back. Share it. Give an insight of something, or just even an encouragement for somebody. Get that word of encouragement. If you think it's psychic, just encourage them. We need more of this. I see so many people hold back on that. Like, I don't want to,
I annoy my friends. If I'm out to do something and they're like, you're off doing sensei shit right now, we're at dinner. But I feel that way. I do feel, honestly, that everyone's my brother. My problem is people come up, sensei, or they'll say Chris, and I'll be like, oh shit, who is this person? Because I've seen so many like thumbnails, on profiles, or when I'm chatting, there's like all these icons that everyone looks recognizable, So, but my point is I think we're all starting to come into this natural sort of oneness, and although there's going to be pockets of, if you're going to try to settle the sea, the first thing it's going to do is get wild, and that's really the message I have for this year. I'll just spin it this way: the truth is, all the planets are saying harmony, 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 but when the commandment is continually harmony, disharmony has to get out, and that's really what it's going to be. That the rats will leave the ship, and it's going to be a scurry, and we're like, everyone has to sort of just realize that because we want to be happy, we're going to have to get rid of this damn bad. And I don't think there's going to be a problem with rolling up our shirt sleeves. I think everyone in the world will be fine with that. This species works hard, period. I mean, if the Anunnaki made us slaves, no wonder. We work our asses off. We work. We'll get it done. It's always a decision to do it anyways. So the people who run things, quote unquote, or have to make decisions, they are not the people who made the things. They're not.
No,
We're
of
always
course
the
not.
people that make the things. We make the things. We do the things. We make the things happen. We make everything happen.
Yeah.
We are the reason it's happening. Which is always
Mhm.
like, the idea of like reducing population. I'm like, wait, well, who's going to carry your luggage? Have you thought through this? You know what I mean? It's like you kind of need everyone on the planet because they all have something to do, and we already have too much to do as it is. So
Uh-huh.
it's an interesting moment. I think it's starting around your birthday, Mister. Is Groundhog Day is going to be compelling this year because Step 13 is a full moon.
The day specifically, or
The step, the energy that you were born in.
day?
Like that's what astrology is. It's like steps. The step number is the energy you were born in, and everyone has their own little like red carpet within the sign. And you're Grandmaster. You're Step 13. That means that you're here to like complain. No, I'm kidding about it all. No, but you are here to say no. This is
I'm
not
not a
enough. You are
complainer.
here.
Yeah.
And a Grandmaster is the part of the sign that goes no. This is not good enough. It's not good enough. We can do better. It's sort of like the choreographer for the team of Aquarius. In high school. Actually, kind of, if you want to look at it from that perspective, 13. But 13, here's what's crazy. There's a full moon at 13 in Leo. So it's already a shifty date to begin with. This year, boom, full emotion in Leo. And Leo's love. And so it'll be this big blast of love. And you're like, well, that's got to feel good. But it's a full moon. No, the thing is when you get a big blast of love, all you feel is the love you don't have. This sucks. I just realized how much love I don't have. You realize how starved you are, which is why it gets all shifty. And it's Leo, so it's going to be like, oh, cat's going wild. You're like, as far as the planet, just feeling like kind of night. But I think that's the final straw.
Good. I'm ready for it. Bring it on. Because on 2/2, I will be 44. So I turned the 40.
Oh my God.
44.
Dude, that's
on 2/2.
like,
So.
Okay, next week we'll talk about why he's 44 and what that means. We should, and you lead up to your birthday.
What day is my birthday fall on? Is it on?
Number? I have to look it up. I didn't prepare that.
It's on Monday. Yeah, it's on Monday. Okay.
But the step number is 13. I think it's Sunday night to Monday. I think the energy in which you were born goes from Sunday night prior to your date birthday to into your date birthday. Yeah, because it maps and moves.
Interesting.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll look different because it's funny. Us Aquas are becoming very Leo in nature, and Leos are doing the reverse in a sense, right? So they're opposite fixed signs. And so I went from bald to having hair, which is a very Leo trait.
So, I want to just say right now, just for the record, like for those Gen Xers out there, Gen Xers, you know what I'm talking about, Love Boat. Is he not starting to look like the doctor on the Love Boat? I think he is. He's
me, like the doctor on the Love Boat? Me?
He's trying to look like the doctor on the Love Boat. I'm just saying. We should see Julie in a second now.
What's his name? Let me look him up. What the fuck are you talking about?
The commercial, look it up. That'd be a good thing. The joke.
Okay, I'll do that in the commercial. Yeah, but we have to get to headlines. Speaking of what's going on in the world, right?
So you read
the first headline we have. What's that?
No, you read. This is your read week. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was just sure I didn't hear it. As Canada and China announced massive trade deal and strategic partnership, the deal has sparked strong reactions in the U.S., including threats of punitive tariffs from U.S. leadership due to concerns that Chinese goods might undercut North American producers. What's your spin on that, Mr. Christopher?
I feel for a long time that we're moving to continental. So we all think it's been global, one world, one global order. But I think even in that plan, you first unite the whole continent. So the idea that we unite Canada and Mexico and South America would be the strategy. That's why I think we also. I think one hidden motive behind Venezuela. It's like this idea of again, it's just like it's going in actually business. Business has been verticalization. It's like they're not really technically. No one is technically dominating everything, as they said. In monopoly, because now they have this monopoly of vertical, where they own everything from the top to the bottom of the production in one brand of owning a million brands, and same true. I think happening with the continent.
Yeah, I really feel like I just if you look at the relationships, we talk about individually, collectively, but especially with globally, the relationships are shifting. They're starting to recognize which relationships are not the best relationships, how to strengthen relationships. So I feel like all of this is just like indicative of what's going on with the astrology and spiritually speaking, and how to like negotiate and have better relationships. And where, a lot of countries see United States as the Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? And so, they're going to try to summon more of their power, and there's going to be like a power struggle going on for this time being. So, but I do feel like a lot of that is kind of indicative of what's going on, even with the global relationships, and right now America's screwing things up a little bit. So, but
I want to step
like
up for America
before,
in that one.
I just want to clarify, like I said before, they're screwing it up, but I feel like that disruption is necessary to, have better foundation. So again, even though this disruption has been chaotic, I feel like it will actually put us in a better position. In the future.
Want to say for America, no, America, you did not do anything wrong. Actually, our government has hired private organizations to do crimes in our name, and the whole world knows about it. And we look like an asshole to a lot of countries because we have been just an asshole to a lot of countries. And we did it by hiring private operations that don't fall under jurisdictions and laws of the U.S. government. That's simple. We've been hiring contractors. And why are those? Contractors don't pay taxes. They're not employees. And it's like, so you want us to pay employee tax when our own government will not hire all of its people under employment tax? Really? What the fuck is that about? Seriously. Anyways, I had to go there because I had to go there. It's not us. What I'm saying is like, I know I get pissed. It's like, no, I know it wasn't me. People come across and they, I swear to God, when I meet someone from another country, I'm like, first of all, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry we've been such an asshole. I mean, to some degree, I find a way to be funny about it, but I'm just like, God, I'm sorry. Like, the parents go nuts, right? You're like, what do you do? I'm always like trying to help.
One thing that's helped
that is not us. The people didn't.
But the one thing I think has helped that is social media, because I think people can connect from different countries. They see, okay, it's not the people. They can see us people rallying up and be upset about whatever's going on. So I think now it's just like it's more about war between the politicians, not so much war between the people. Because many people in other countries are like, oh my God, I feel sorry for Americans, and so so I think technology has helped to keep us in touch more globally, which I think has been helping too. So we're not like generalizing a country with its people. We're more kind of associate the country with its leaders, and just kind of disassociating the citizens with the leadership. So I think that's helped, and I think more people, like you said, more when people start to become more conscious of that, more aware of that. But we also have like.
You're right. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. And so we still have a lot of stuff going in Minnesota as well. So the Minnesota crisis update, as we went through a lot last week, reports of people being beaten, stripped naked, and dropped in the woods around the federal facility in Minnesota in sub-zero temperatures. I think there was also too. I don't know if this is in Minnesota too, but there was like some had like drone footage or footage of like an actual facility where people were like screaming like, "Help! Get me out of here!" Like people who are captured and so forth. And so it's intense. I mean, personally, I just don't think this is the way to go about things. Obviously, it's very, very chaotic. We've lost already, I think, 14 American citizens have been killed at the exchange of ICE. So, and I think total of 35. So far, ICE has killed more citizens than illegal immigrants have killed citizens. So it's massively imbalanced, and this is not the way to go about things personally. But, again, I see people standing up, people speaking up, right? The hypocrisy is being shown about politics. Not so much I want to call it people, but politics. This, why this guy can't have a gun? Now having guns is bad, but you row for gun rights. It's like, it's just this mind fuck of hypocrisy going on. And so I urge people to ask yourselves, what's more important, holding on to your political stance or doing this what's just and moral for the sake of all? And some people are just so clenching to what they voted for. Like, but I have to, I can't be wrong. And it's like, it's destroying things. And people just remaining quiet. And so that's why I think things in Minnesota has been escalating, but people are trying to stand up for that now. And so it shouldn't have to get that extreme for us to stand up anymore. We need to start seeing through this before it gets to this point. But I think that's what this is teaching us. Sorry to go on a soapbox there for a minute, but
no, soap. I feel soap it up. No, soap is good. Well, I see things from a matrix perspective in the sense of, first of all, what we don't realize is that's not how you play the game. We don't play the game by writing our politicians, and we don't play the game. All those things we're told to do, they don't work. And it's not that I'm saying be a rebel. I'm saying we were designed. It was deliberately put in place so that we'd be distracted. And distracted, to me, is like we all have very powerful energy on the planet. We don't realize it yet. But the reason why we're watching fucking hero movies is because we think we are. And we do know that we have the ability to do some things inside of us. We know from meditation. We know our CIA uses, remote viewing to look at a spy. I mean, they use remote viewing psychics to go look at a bomb site ahead of time.
They sure did. They sure did. I mean,
in the budget.
They did.
So it's like, okay, well, why aren't we doing that kind of stuff too? Even me and my buddy are like, should we look over at Russia? What's going on? But the point is that human solution is not in anything we've been doing because obviously it worked. Our solution is actually taking a moment, first of all, and just getting back our power, which is I think we need to be quiet for a minute. I argue we be quiet. You talk about the internet going silent for 3 days. I was like, what if that was us that does that? What if we said, you know what, we're not commenting or buying anything for 3 days, just so you know that we can do this shit.
But also to show the massive amount of power we have and how that really kicks these corporations in the nuts. It's like, yeah, we're not buying shit, And
of course, the news like someone was killed in Minnesota for not, for going on the internet and posting. They fuck. There's always that person. There's people. The other thing I want to say, lastly, is just people are all learning the bottom stuff too. People have to learn kindergarten, and that's absolute kindergarten. That you would hurt anyone or do anything that's so unnecessary and so does not just makes a person's life miserable. That's kindergarten lesson. Everyone has to go through kindergarten. So to me, when I see that stuff, I'm not like totally freaked out because I'm like, we're still teaching kindergarten. Like we're still teaching this one. We got these, waves of grain of people, of different varieties and different.
This is a distraction. I mean, obviously, let's call it the obvious here. This is all distraction from the Epstein files. Let's just call it what it is. Well, that's what this is about.
At this point, we have to all say, forget conspiracy. Let's just all take a vote. Is it maybe a distraction, guys? I think we need to have a conversation. Like, do you guys think it's a distraction? If so, does someone want to write on the board, like what the distractions think can we organize a little bit? Like just write on the board what we think they are. So this is what we're not, this is what we can do. This is what the forefathers did to form the country the last time Pluto was in Aquarius. They got around and go like, well, I think we can do this better. And they happen to be in small positions where they had a lot of influence because they were very well educated, and that was very rare. Right back then. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, I'm baffled about the lack of intellect in our Congress and our government and some of these federal agents. I mean, it's just baffling to me. Like, are you this dumb? Like, I just look at these people. Are you just stupid? Like I literally just saw what happened. You're trying to tell me what happened when I saw it, and you're trying to persuade me to think differently. And some people are like, yeah, they'll take somebody literally showing what happened, but completely re-narrating it to something different than people believe it. And I'm just saying to myself, are people this stupid? Because I can literally watch different angles, what's going on. You cannot tell me what happened. You said what happened. And so, there's a lot of that going on. A lot of this like mind control, mind warp. Let's look over here, feel this, trigger the empathy. Right, trigger the anger, and I think that's the jig is up that we're being gaslit by these freaking politicians, and I think the media's changed a little bit. I feel like the media's like kind of backed away from that because they realize they've been the enemy of the people. So I feel like they want to gain people's trust back now. But I don't think the politicians have changed. I feel media's kind of taking a step back on the gaslighting as they should because they realize they were.
The Scott and Chris's that are still under contract with them are like, no, I'm not going that far. No. Like, I think you're starting to inner resistance to the people who, because they're being told from the top down to do that crap. And I know, I've talked to anchors, and they're just like, no, I'm not fucking comfortable with it. Obviously, like there's a frank, like, that's their life. Their whole career is going down a path they disagree with, and they have to be a yes men to that corporate whatever. And by the way, they're all talking. We all saw it in the videos of all the newscasts, all speaking in synchronicity, all edited together from all these different stations across the world, across the country, saying the exact same words from.
Oh yeah, it's like hundreds of like videos pop up, right? The video, like they all pop up saying the same thing. They just show all videos, and yeah, I remember that.
Could fake that or whatever, but I'll tell you what, it's struck true because like that sure feels like I hear the same damn thing in the airports, in the buses, everywhere in the world. It's like the same damn recordings over and over again. I'm like, will you please? Get me out of here. Keep your hands and feet in at all times.
Yeah. Well, moving on to this, U.S. officially completes its withdrawal from the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization has publicly stated that the U.S. exit from the agency weakens both national and global health security, and Washington was a major funder and participant. I've just heard that, interestingly enough, because I'm surprised. Yeah, I just heard that one. I didn't, but I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised. But again, I think this is just another move of the arrogance of America. Of kind of I don't think it's a move that's helping the people. I don't think it's a move to think about forward progression. I think it's more about arrogance, more about control. I really don't feel like there's anything other than that what's layered on this. I think a lot of it's bluffing, just like with terrorists, just like with we're gonna bomb this and war this, take this, and all. I just feel like it's a lot of these strategies to show dominance that I don't think is really working. It's not showing dominance. It's just like the Greenland thing that we talked about, and that's I'm going to back up on the tariffs because no one was standing for it, right? So it just feels like an assertion for control and dominance. And so I think it's going to be long term? No, I think at some point, look, I said before, this is not a personal thing when it comes to politics. I just look objectively. I don't feel this administration running its full term. I said it back in 2024. I don't think it's going to run its full term. So I think whatever we withdraw, people will be putting things back in. And so, so I just think it's just a stupid move, like a lot of stupid moves that this, the government has been doing as of late.
Okay. And, first of all, I agree with you about the power grab. I think that's what the WHO is. I don't remember voting for the WHO. Do you? Who is the WHO? At the end of the day, it sounds like a damn Dr. Seuss novel, doesn't it? It's like, where did this come from? Who designed this? I don't remember this. Americans, I didn't say. When it came into, COVID, they're like, oh, and who people will be on the ground in white suits? They're like, well, who the fuck? No. Who fuck invited? You're not invited. I didn't invite you. It's my country. It's all of our countries. It's you. We didn't invite you. So it's like this is all happening under our nose, under the guise of coming together, but in reality, creating a top-down way to roll the world. This is the new world order and EW, but I think we have to be the K and EW. Like we knew, we always know, but we were a little tricked for a second and we fell asleep, and got obsessed with a few things. But that's the human race. Honestly, I feel like we have to, at this point, as citizens, like I don't even want to point. I'm not going to talk shit. I don't want to talk smack. People can do research and see what's actually happening. But I do think we can all agree on one thing. Why don't we take time out for a second and take a look at the world and take a look and see maybe. Are we happy with it? What can we do about that? Like, that's all we need to do is have a meeting. Like, we just need to have a meeting. Yeah. I don't need to
well, again, it's like
what's the problems?
Yeah. But just saying again, like you said, like, is the WHO even beneficial? Like, and like, what is this agency? So it's like, well, it's to me, it's just like, power hungry organizations, associations fighting over. It's like, which one is worse? So I don't know with that, but I also feel like our U.S. pulling out could be the fact of like perhaps there is another virus on the horizon, and pulling away from that stops us from having to abide by their restrictions, which could be a sense of power and control too. Because if you think about it, if there's another, which I felt like there'd be another virus on its way, kind of, they might speculate, then this administration would not want something else to tank the economy because it's already tanking. So then they put withdrawal. So they say, we don't have to follow WHO's orders. And therefore they have another virus running rampant. That's what I think is the reasoning for that. To have more power on whatever happens, provided another virus does, leak or take its toll, so to speak. Then the WHO can't put any restrictions.
Look, guys, ever since the WHO came around, we've been more sick. We have more disease. We have more of everything. They're fired. They're fired. You're fired because it's gone horribly wrong. It's not. Show me where it's getting better or at least more available to people who can have cancer. Cancer, the industry of cancer makes a lot of money.
Sure does.
And people are dying. And so my point is like you say you're organizing, you're worried about a virus, blah, blah. Meanwhile, everything's getting worse in the world's richest countries. Come on. Something's not right.
Well, I mean, I just think, again, there's half and half of things. There's people who are really doing breakthrough studies. There's those who are actually trying to make a profit. And so, like, there's different layers, different dynamics to a lot of this. They have a lot of major breakthroughs with medicine, and they have a lot of things that are just harming with food. So, we're in the midst of what I said a long time ago. Things that break down, structures have to break down to break through, and this is a part of it. So as much as I don't agree with this administration, I'm like, well, I'm glad this administration is doing it in its own way because it's forcing us to reevaluate. So I have a love-hate for what's going on. You know what I mean? Love-hate. I hate seeing what's going on, but I know why it needs to happen spiritually.
Of course. No, we have to grow up and we have to take control of our lives. And that means if we're allowing our food to get poisoned, if we're allowing this stuff to happen, we're being babies. We have to stand up and figure out how to do this. We can do this because we do have all the power. We do. I just think it's a maturing point.
It's like recycling. It's like, and then recycling. If you watch a documentary about recycling, I've said this a long time ago, people thought I was crazy. Then there's a documentary recently that came out a couple years ago on Netflix, and everyone's like, wow, oh my God. You start realizing, like, you don't really not much stuff is really recyclable. And that's has been kind of a charade recycling. And I'm like, it's always the consumer. It's our fault, the planet, because we don't recycle. How about the fucking corporations start putting things back in glass again?
Yeah.
Or, in cartons, recyclable cartons. Why are they not making the changes? Why is it always the civilians have to? It's again more of that mind warp of the fact that like it's on us, and to have it all for profit. They're the ones destroying. They could change the ingredients. They can change the products that you're using. I remember like going to a grocery store. It's like, oh yeah, no paper bags anymore. It's or plastic bags anymore. Like, okay, we're doing a change, but yet all the food is still in plastic, and we think we're making a change. We're taking a paper bag. It's like these corporations are the ones that need to be responsible for making the changes.
Well, no, 100%. Well, we have the power there too, but the truth of the matter is we don't have to make it in plastic. We don't have to use it. That's a Rockefeller thing. Rockefeller. Like that's another Rockefeller thing where we have petroleum in our food and petroleum in our medicine and petroleum. It's like, dude, put that fucking petroleum back up your, like, seriously, we don't need it. And we can do it. We did it without it for centuries. We didn't have plastic, and we had food, and we didn't die. And also, is like with all the medicine and stuff, y'all, the human race survived. Yes, there were bubonic plagues and things, but we survived. Without all that stuff, we survived. Mm-hmm. Like, we'll look at the real facts here. We did. Yeah. It wasn't a miracle either.
I will say people way more health conscious than they were, say, 10, 15 years ago. I know, because, talking to people, more people are aware, more people like, I don't want to take the medication. So more and more people, there's other options, there's other avenues. So I'm finding more and more people are more in tune to it now. I don't care what political side you're on, right, left, it doesn't matter. That doesn't define humanity. But more and more people start to recognize, medicine isn't perfect. There's a lot of great things to it too. It's not like the other side. People tend to go so extremes. Oh, it's not perfect, so it's evil. Or, oh, it's the only thing to rely on. It's like, there's some great things. There's a lot of shitty things that still need to be changed. So I think we need to find the balance of like, there's still a lot of things that are very beneficial with medicine for many people, but there's still a lot of things that need to be changed right now too. So I used to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I used to be like, oh, it's all evil. It's all corrupt, it's all bad. I used to be very much that way, and I realized it's not all. It's just not perfect either. And the things that are not perfect are still harming a lot of people, are still being very harmful, and we have to change those things. So, moving on to our next.
To wrap on a happy note, I think at the end of the day, the thing is that we're being cheated. The people who do this know they're doing it wrong. They know they're hurting us, and they're doing it anyways. That's shitty. It's like that's shitty. Yeah. And I don't want to punish anyone, because I think punishing people makes people more mad. It's like, come on, we have to get smarter than this, and we are smart. We are smart. People say, a lot of people today, people say, well, people are just stupid. I was hearing that over the weekend, because there's some people just stupid. And I was like, no, man, there's people who have not, have been invested in. They're brand new here. They just came over as aliens. They're fucking idiots because they're tourists and, human body. Like, we just need to realize that people just need their space, but they also need support, because there are different levels. I mean, we just need smart, heartfelt and smart about it, and we'll figure it out, But I think we have to move on to our topic, which is how technology will save us.
Right. And I think that's the whole point of all this right now moving forward. But I think we have a couple sponsors before we get into that.
Yeah. If you're watching us on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Serious Joy TV. Please click like on this video. And if you don't mind, hit the bell button so you're notified, so we collectively defeat the algorithm overlords. The Serious Joy Nonlinear TV Network is simulcasting right now on many media affiliates, including Instagram, X.com, and Facebook, just to name a few.
Since 1995, Sea has infused every product with love. Our star is Sea Cream, made with kombucha tea, organic and wild-crafted herbs, and essential oils. Its fresh citrus scent appeals to both men and women. Age gracefully with our rehydrating facial serum. Made with organic sea buckthorn berry extract, giving your face a healthy glow. Your skin will love you. Scan the QR code on your screen now for 20% off with promo code LOL.
You started your business for freedom, but somewhere along the way, it turned into chaos. You're trying to fit your unique vision into someone else's blueprint, and it's leaving you feeling overwhelmed and second-guessing your every move. That's exactly why we created From Chaos to Clarity, your 12-week live business intensive. We give you the courage to claim your voice, the clarity to build your unique framework, and the conviction to lead your business your way. You'll get live power hours to hone your strategy and weekly accountability sprints to make sure the work actually gets done. Stop following, start building. You don't need to do it all alone. Clarity is closer than you think.
Prophesizing we're gonna go down the drain. Oh man. Oh no, we gotta stop flying. It's not looking good for us. But we do have a cool series. We're playing around with AI because we're doing something cool. I want to say this. It's just happy days. It's like, you guys, the energy of creation right now is so powerful. When I'm like right now having a hard time because I don't have enough time to be creative. I can't go away, play and make cool things right now. I'm so tied down by task. And if you can just do something creative, like amazing energy is released. And we have these tools like AI and stuff that just came out, like these cool new tools that allows us to play and create in a whole new area. So I'm excited. I think this is a huge period of great creation and brilliant innovation and just holy crap kind of, ideas that we only saw the last time we had those kind of holy crap ideas was, last time you were on, I guess was in Gemini, but it was a while ago when we went from, farmland to flying. That was a wow.
Yeah.
My grandma told me about it
it's-
the first time she saw a plane. She was freaked out. She thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's been pretty cool, but boy, it's still not there yet. Like, I'm just trying to create videos. I'm just I can't do half the shit I needed to do. I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna have to go because my song comes out tomorrow. And I was going to see if AI can help me create a lyric video for it. So I have it. And it just couldn't do shit. And so I'm just I paid someone, a freelancer, to hey, can you create this lyric video for me? And it needs this style, this and all that stuff. So I actually paid another human because I'm AI I couldn't create through AI. I didn't have the time, to do that. So, but I'm realizing because when I do the music video for it, I'm going to have to do the old school way with my editing and effects and all that stuff. So it's going to take me some time. AI can do maybe half of that. I'm like, it's still not good for production stuff yet.
Well, it's not there.
Simple things like for adverts, it's fine,
Yeah, but this is cool. That makes it equal opportunity for everyone. It's like everyone's getting this new tool, like who gets to use it the best, and that's exciting to me. And it's a process, but also it's never gonna. It doesn't replace the artist because I don't believe that machines can create something it hasn't seen before. I think that ultimately it has to have had, who knows, at least that algorithm hasn't been discovered yet. But even then on that level, the stuff that I create, which comes from channeling, which is ideas out of my own higher self, they're so brilliant. I had nothing to do with it. It's coming from a higher intelligence and way higher than AI. What I'm saying? It is divine intelligence. And when something comes out and you look at it and you're like, wow, that just came flying out of me. And you look at it the structure of that, it's not for me. I didn't think through that. I think that wow is so powerful, and you're on top of it. I think it'll always take a human to choose the right tools, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would say this because I have hundreds of songs I've done, but this is my 11th single I've released, right? And so I was just thinking because of technology, even back in the day, when I was composing orchestral music for TV and film and set scores and stuff, they have actually software. I have my keyboards, I play piano and play guitar, right? But to get an orchestra, I can play these sounds on the keyboard, and they're real recorded violin parts, staccato, different articulations. I mean, it's in depth. And so, which is why I can produce music that sounds like a real freaking orchestra. It sounds like a real violin because I can play and I can manipulate the sound. Right. So the technology has been great to help me create the music and express what I need to express. And the way I express it, because I don't play those instruments, but I can arrange them, right? So it's been a wonderful benefit for artists like me who do it all. And so to me, we have to think about technology, like we've said before, as the gateway to creativity and having the way to easy execute, because a lot of times I spend so much time on execution, and it took me like a month just to mix the song that I'm releasing, like it's a sound design, right? And so that's a lot of execution time. And so but I think technology helps, and the more it accelerates, it takes out the mundane, and so we can get back into creating, back into soul expression. So a lot of people are fearful about technology. I'm like, no, it actually is going to help soul to express more, and people to like really crave soul expression, you know. So yeah, I really think that's important.
Apparently the car, the vehicle, we call a car, scared the shit out of people. When they first saw it, it was seriously, it ran itself, it made noise, it was backfire and stuff. It freaked people out, freaked horses out. So it's like I think we're always being a little spooked by our creations. But there's also another quantum direction I feel like we're gonna go, which is I'm certain we're gonna be visited officially by aliens and have diplomacies and have ambassadors and that whole thing this lifetime. I'm certain of it. It just fills my heart.
Yeah, of course.
And so we're going to see ourselves. So in other words, we're going to have these, fambangled cool AI as we see a mothership the size of a football stadium land in front of the White House, and it's like, what the? So I think yes, we'll be kind of afraid of our own stuff, but then we're going to be opened up to the whole. I think how big it gets at the same time, which at that point might put you out for a while. But you'll get used to it. Like you'll get used to it. But you'll never see this life. This life will be like black and white. What we're living now is black and white. And we're talking about next year. As far as like people it's not one day. I think it's funny they say they're moving so slow with disclosure and things like that. But honestly, if it's the way I look at it now, the last mile, they're gonna rip the Band-Aid off. Actually, the Band-Aid's gonna be ripped off. But we're all ready for it. The fact that we're afraid of it is actually the immaturity. We shouldn't be. We asked for this. We showed them brochure.
Yeah. It is a form of immaturity for sure, because again, people were against like flat screen TVs. I don't want to buy a flat screen TV, and then now we all have them. Now we're so thankful, like what I mean. People are resistant to smartphones. Now it's people love their smartphones. So I just think go with the evolution and do what we need. And so especially we will have alien contact. I predicted between 2025 and 2030, but Bashar, Chamba Dera Eka says 2027 actually. So like, okay, well at least it's in my school, what I've been predicting. And I also been predicting that, I said 14, 15 years ago about like there being like I said a governmental salary. The governments will pay a salary to citizens as like a deep base, and then we can choose to make more or just keep that. And so that's when, years later we're talking about universal basic income. That's coming. That's going to happen. And I think that's the merging and the way to kind of, I would say, buffer, the overtaking of, AI in certain jobs. So, so a lot of people say, oh, it's governmental control. And it's like, yeah, there's always that fear of that too, but there's also, it's not all that either. Things have to progress. We live in a society that they also live into. So there's got to be also progression that we can benefit from that, as we will. There's a duality. It's not all bad.
No, I don't think it is bad. Actually, that's the thing. I think bad is it doesn't exist. I think we're lied to. I don't think there's a bad. I don't think there's a bad. I think that's how we were manipulated. No, we've been manipulated by creating a bad where we beat people up in front of each other. They still witness the pain that people went through. And then we turned around and said, if you're bad too. And that is how they got us. That's basically what we fell for. It's like that. And it's like, we weren't bad, asshole. You faked this thing, and that's the thing. Even like in Germany, in the way they started their wars, like they go across into Poland, and they pretend as Polish people to take over a radio station in Poland, to be Poland people taking over a German radio station. They dressed as Poland people, came over, pretended like Poland was attacking them in their radio station. It was a complete setup of a bullshit thing. And the entire World War started from that. Right? From that sort of like bull BS, like, did you see that? That's how easily we get hoodwinked, y'all. Like, we just need to sit back. I think sit back and just watch. Technology, though, let's talk about it quick, because we've been passionate tonight. And I'm glad we have, because I think we need to like kind of lay out where we're going. Not that we're always going to be about politics, but it's like we're not going to be quiet anymore. I'm not being quiet anymore. Everywhere I go, I agree with you. Everywhere I go, I say to people, I just say, I used to be like polite. I'm still very polite, but I'm like, I respectfully disagree. Like I just like, let's talk about it.
But I don't have to be polite. I just call it out. People. And I would say this. come on the show. We do the show for free. I don't get paid for the show. I mean,
Nope.
you're getting people to sponsor it, so it's
I've
not
never been paid
making
for a
revenue.
show.
So we're putting time into this show for free content. And when people want to like judge my character, I mean, I was called a gay slur before on this show, like because I'm outspoken. Someone else said something very like two brain cells of me on the show. So it's just like, it's like we're doing this for you for free. You know what I'm saying? And so to sit back and to critique free content that we're doing for, I tell people I don't want to abandon the show. I'm a co-creator of it. I've been on for 2 years. I don't want to abandon it. You also watch it, and so I feel loyal to the show, regardless of if whether or not you're late. When you're late, you're late. I deal.
Dude,
And
I have a solution for this.
and
I
so,
thought about this.
but I
I'm gonna
love, but I love the
we'll
show.
I think we should
But I
offer
love the
people
show.
the ability to pay like $100 and come on and argue with us.
I
should be like, okay, you want it? Come on, $100, and you can. Why $100? Because we had to pony up, man. It's like, you want the airtime, pay for it with us, and we'll talk to you about it on camera.
When people complain, though, it's just rather transparent, and I just like to expose that transparency because it's very transparent.
The people that go. It is hard that people complain interjectly. And again, it's because they're angry. They don't know how to deal with it, and they're making all of us deal with it. It's like we already have ours. We already feel this way, and you're making us feel this way again. And that's what it is. You're making us feel this way again, and it's like But at the end of the day, by the way, I've never been paid for a show I've done either. People go, well, you sell readings. I go work again.
Well, that's for you, but your readings are for you personally. Yeah, your readings for you personally. That's not Serious Joy Company. Your readings are for Christopher Witecki.
We don't make any money. Serious Joy either. YouTube pays shit, man. You don't make money off of this stuff. YouTube does not pay well.
Serious Joy is different, yeah.
No, YouTube
That's a
doesn't pay.
different
The shows are a write-off. We call it marketing.
Well, those people don't know what goes on behind the scenes. They don't know what goes on, behind. They just watch an hour here and want to like critique and complain. And so, but I'm going to call it that transparency. Don't be dropping your crap. It's like if someone took a shit in my living room, I'm going to make them clean it up. I'm not going to leave that crap in my living room. So don't start dumping your crap in the comment section of a free show that we put on, a time that we put on in our already busy schedules to bring content. Don't start taking a dump on our comment section, our pages, because I'm going to call it out or clean it up. Right.
I'm going to say, pay us $100 to come on camera and argue with us.
Yes.
Your face. It'd be funny. No, I honestly feel I think we need to talk. Honestly, when I call subscribers get really angry, they, Serious Joy, they'll leave some harsh messages, and I just call them. I call my home. I'm like, hey, so what's up? And as soon as it's one-to-one voice, it's a whole different conversation. And that's the problem. We can go all night with this, but text messages have done us a disservice. A, we're all bad writers. B, it's spell correcting us and changing things into, stupid things that we don't mean. It's saying that someone's trying to turn that to type with our two fucking thumbs. Like we have been hooked into this thing. And even when I dictate, Siri gets it wrong. It's like, Grok ain't getting it wrong when I talk to Grok. So the point is like, I just feel this. If we just pick up the phone and call people and talk to people and hear your voice, I think so much is going to change because I don't think we really feel this way. I think we have this weird distance because of text.
But the contrast, like my clients, like I only get that crap on you social media from people, right? The people like my clients, they're like amazing. They always like express gratitude, and I express a gratitude, their gratitude. Like it's just these people who get things for free and sit back and just and like those are the people I feel like that really need to be called out because we need to encourage them to do something productive and get off their ass and do something productive themselves and stop playing the sidelines of a critic and when they're not so I think we need to help those people, motivate them to do something else for their lives, right? So that's why I think calling it out helps to realize what are you doing? What are you like pointing the finger at your screen for? Like, so I feel like it's time to do that. And so, because as many people like who are doing that are probably very smart people or people who are very capable of doing things they're probably afraid to. And so I advise people like, ask yourself, what are you engaging with? What are you participating in? How are you using the technology? And are you using it to benefit, to like create a benefit for people or not? And I mean, we need to be more introspective, like it's especially for February. And I've been talking about that on my live show tomorrow too, about the energy forecast for February. If you want to just run that real quick before we close, yes, because I'm live every Thursday night. So trying to segue good here. So yeah, doing a February energy forecast, what to expect for this month, how to put it in play as well. And I'll be also sharing my new song tomorrow night too. It'll be available, I think midnight tomorrow morning, whatever, midnight. But I'll be airing the music video or lyric video as well for the new song. So it'll be a fun night tomorrow, and also live readings too as well, as I always do live. So
Yeah, I've been getting
there
a
we
lot
go.
of thought
You
there.
just
There's a
leave
lot,
off on that.
yeah, it's good. Well,
You're muted,
you talk about.
Christopher.
Am I muted? I don't know why. Why am I muted? Should
Yeah,
be.
the sound's gone.
Hello, hello. You guys should took me down.
I think it's a sign. Yeah. All right. Well,
No,
being
it's not.
that,
It's not muted.
yeah,
See, he says it's not muted.
let me make sure my sound's on. Y'all hear
I don't know.
Christopher? Can you guys hear Christopher, or is it
Hi guys.
me?
I don't know. I hear him. Well,
Okay,
you know what?
my
I
sound
hear you,
went off,
God. I
Christopher.
hear
I
you,
can't
Mother.
hear.
But the at the end of the day, I think
I
here's
don't
where
hear
we're at.
Christopher.
I think the tension that we feel is going to get worse unless we, in our hearts, just stay calm and just address things because we're ready and we're mature and we can do this. That's what we signed up for. If you're on the planet now, you signed up for this. That's my
I
final
can't
word.
hear Christopher, so
Go
yeah.
ahead and say your
I
final
can't
word.
hear Christopher. I know what happened, so I'm just say good night, guys. Love you all.
We love you. Now
I
we'll
can't
do
hear
some
Christopher.
pantomime closures here. If you're watching us on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Serious Joy TV. Please click like on this video, and if you don't mind, hit the bell button so you're notified so we collectively defeat the algorithm overlords. The Serious Joy Nonlinear TV Network is simulcasting right now on many media affiliates, including Instagram, X.com, and Facebook, just to name a few.
Since 1995, Sea has infused every product with love. Our star is Sea Cream, made with kombucha tea, organic and wild-crafted herbs, and essential oils. Its fresh citrus scent appeals to both men and women. Age gracefully with our rehydrating facial serum. Made with organic sea buckthorn berry extract, giving your face a healthy glow. Your skin will love you. Scan the QR code on your screen now for 20% off with promo code LOL.
All right, we are on the air, Scott, right now, live on the air. We're going to wrap up the show. You can't hear anything. It's been a weird night, but it's energetically, I think, the way things are going right now. A lot of equipment failures, by the way, guys, and it's just as things sharpen into Aquarius, that's electricity, that is energy, and so there'll be some minor disruptions, I think, in this particular season. Can you hear that?
Yeah, the sound's back for me. Yeah, I agree, and that I'm going to get into that too tomorrow. So now that I can hear you, the sound just like cut out. I don't know why, but yeah,
Well,
I agree.
people
I
know.
concur with that sentiment.
That just shows that this is an improv show. You know, improv this thing. But I think what I was saying is we've this moment's before us, guys. What we've experienced is this tension among citizens, among these topics. This is what we have to face, and this is the only thing we have to face is this tension. Because once we face the tension and we just relax into it, we got this. We're fucking smart. We've built the whole world already ourselves. It's been us the whole time. We have nothing to worry about. We have us.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think again, it's very important that we do speak up. You know, that's going to be our power. That's going to be our power because then if we don't speak up, we don't want to ruffle feathers. That's a way of like suppressing our power, suppressing our abilities, and allowing others' energy to dominate. We don't want to do that. So we can be very tactful. We can have good finesse on things, and I think that when people witness you standing up, they will stand up, and that's again another domino effect on that aspect. So, the age of Aquarius is here. And in Aqua season with Age of Aquarius, it's going to be a lot more of that energy. Let's do it. Let's get it.
Okay. One last point I'll put too is just for everyone's sake. It's like, you'll have a moment in the spotlight. Don't waste it on anger. Don't waste it on anger. Yeah. Don't waste it on anger. You'll be mad at yourself for that. It's like you have something very heartfelt and passionate and deep to say, I'm sure. And we have to get rid of our anger before we go to that spotlight, because otherwise it's just going to create more anger. We've got to not fart in public. That's farting in public, guys. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it. You bring your anger to the table. You're stinking up the place. It's like everyone has to walk it off. Everyone has to walk it off. Everyone has to. Otherwise, they got us. So that's my message.
Don't fart in public. That's today's message. I got it. And we don't want to, like I say in my live show, we don't want a Febreze watered down fart either. We want to clear out the air. We don't want to cover things up either. There's nothing worse than that. So, and that said, don't put up with a shit show, right? Lead out loud, right? Good night, guys.
Next week.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to the sound there.
I've had shit like that happen. I've had a lot of it. Like, I'm sure my team thinks I'm full of it. They're all like, I was like, I'm tired of explaining. It's just, I think my soul created an issue. Period. Make it work. Like make it learn. Like I'm being forced learning.
Sure.